Hi, Mark here from LoganFiles.com. Today we're going to talk about Wolverine Origins number 33. The story starts off with Wolverine and Nick Fury in a bar. How appropriate for a Wolverine comic to have a bar in it. And Nick Fury wants to know about Wolverine's son, Daken. Seems Daken is causing a little mischief. He's taken his father's old uniform, the brown and gold, and dressed up like Wolverine, and has joined some new Avengers team. He has a problem with this since it's not Wolverine, and he wants to know a little bit more about Daken before he goes after him. Now the problem I see about Daken trying to be Wolverine is, first of all, he doesn't have adamantium claws. That's the first thing you would recognize from Wolverine. Second is Daken's claws, two come out the his back of his hand, and one comes out his wrist. Not to mention that half of Daken's body has a full tattoo on it. Daken is also a lot skinnier and appears to be much taller than Wolverine, so their body physique is way different from each other. Daken also acts totally different than his father. They're very, very different people. So it's kind of weird that people would actually believe that Daken is Wolverine. Well, at least Daken's disguise as Wolverine is a lot better than Superman's. I mean, come on. I'm Clark Kent, and now I'm Superman? Come on, that's just flat out ridiculous. Wolverine tells Nick Fury that, why would I tell you anything about my son? So Nick Fury offers, hey, how about I tell you some stuff about the Weapon X program? Wolverine declines. He doesn't want to know anything more about the Weapon X program. So Nick Fury tells Wolverine something he does want to know, and that's Romulus. Fury explains that Romulus was the true person behind the Weapon X program, that the Canadian US government did use Wolverine, did help create him, used him for missions afterwards, but ultimately it was Romulus who orchestrated and developed the whole thing for Wolverine, because Romulus was trying to make a perfect weapon for killing super humans and also superpowered mutants. Nick Fury also asks if Wolverine knows anything about the name Hudson. And of course Wolverine knows the name Hudson. Hudson has come up several times in Wolverine's history, starting with the Hudson Bay Company, James Hudson that found him in the forest. There was a Hudson running the training camp where he first met Cyber. Hudson is also, James Hudson is also the one that got Wolverine to join Alpha Flight, which is why Wolverine went and fought the Hulk and also met up with Professor X. Nick Fury explains that he knows even more about the Hudsons and has researched them and found out that the guy who ran the training camp was named Frederick Hudson, and his brother Elias Hudson was the owner of the Hudson Bay Company, which Wolverine worked for. Their parents died in a passenger ship which sank off the coast of Vancouver Island. Their sister died around the turn of the century. That sister was named Elizabeth Hudson, which was Wolverine's mother, who married John Howlett. Nick Fury also explains that Elias Hudson committed suicide shortly after leaving the Hudson Bay Company. Frederick died when his training facility burned down to the ground, and that would have ended the Hudson name, except for it turns out that Frederick had an affair with his secretary, Caitlin MacDonald, and he fathered a son. She named him after him, Frederick Hudson, gave him the first and last name of the father in hopes that his wife would find out. Now, Frederick Hudson, he was raised in an orphanage since all his family was dead, and died at the age of 30 from a stab wound. But before he died, he fathered 3 sons by 3 different women. One was named Truett Hudson, who grew up to be the professor who ran the Weapon X program. The second child, born from Bernice, was named Victor Hudson. He was born blind and mute, and Bernice came into her local church and proclaimed that she had given birth to the devil's son and that the devil had come to her and taken his son back. And shortly after that, she committed suicide. The last son was named James Hudson, who is the same Hudson that was the head of Department H, the man who got Wolverine to join Alpha Flight. So if Wolverine's mom was a Hudson, that means that Wolverine is also a Hudson, and also his son Daken would be a Hudson. Nick Fury explains that Romulus has been orchestrating and using the Hudsons for over a century as his pawns and his goal to make the perfect weapon. After Wolverine left Alpha Flight, he joined up with Professor X and the X-Men, and at that point Professor X used his mind abilities to basically protect his students from mental manipulation. That included Wolverine. So at this point Romulus had no control over Wolverine anymore and had to switch tracks. His switch tracks to Dakin. Now that Romulus has got to use Dakin, Romulus has planned for Dakin to go through the same procedures as Wolverine did through the Weapon X program. Dakin's now going to become more powerful. He's going to become a more powerful weapon than his dad did. And the only way to do that is he's got to have some way to kill Wolverine. And Nick Fury explains that the only way that's possible is with the Mara Mesa blade. So Dakin is going after the blade. And Wolverine knows that Cyclops is the only one that has it. Problem for Cyclops is that he sees that Dakin has joined that new Avengers team and everybody thinks that it's Wolverine. And Cyclops can't have everybody thinking that's Wolverine when it's certainly not Wolverine, because that would put the X-Men's image in harm. And so Cyclops goes to confront Dakin. He goes and takes the Mara Mesa blade with him, since Dakin is a very deadly enemy, and takes some of the X-Men with him. As you can see here in the picture, there are several X-Men that went along with Cyclops. But the problem is that's exactly what Romulus and Dakin want. They want that the Mara Mesa blade drawn out so they can get it. So that was Wolverine Origins 33, a very excellent book. Great art, great story, a lot of information. This is a must-read book for Wolverine fans. There's a lot of stuff that was covered in this book. A lot of history with a lot of new information. If you don't know Wolverine's past, you probably missed some stuff in this book. I know a lot about Wolverine's past, and I probably still missed a lot in this book. If there's anything you want to comment on, just comment below.